I'm sure she's going to want to say something.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Hold up.
There's no assignment. Not yet. See you next week.
Is the other battery in here? We need the other battery.
No?
Yeah, it's just a battery low. You get more of a repeat, my dear. I'm sorry. Oh.
10. Two more than this. Well, yeah, two more than this week.
You got this.
That's what you say.
You got this.
Yeah.
You got this. Seriously, I gotta get him all. I'm trying to get him all my confidence.
I know, just kind of.
Seriously, you got this.
I'm done both of my
Boogity,
classes.
boogity,
Everything
the
is
confidence
over.
to me.
Relieved right now.
I'm not gonna lie, she did this.
I'm still trying to my classes in the fall.
I was in the back like, oh,
I didn't even know if somebody was
Actually,
going to
that's
say
what
it. I
oh, I was
So you
sorry.
really know.
I was saying,
so I just listened
When-
to it.
I don't
My
want to
age.
drive by drone. It's
You
crazy.
didn't grab your cards once.
Oh my God, I couldn't even believe it. I thought about that. I'm like this usually. Holding on to it for dear life.
I'll give you this hand.
This.
So you can see.
I'm like this. Like, she's like, release your
Lest we have a tripping hazard.
That's your game.
Oh shit.
What happened?
I said lest we have a tripping hazard.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's like my
man.
chick ever.
Dark Lord says to do
So this I have to charge now.
Here, I'll stick it. If you just stick it on there, I'll go put it in.
I'll charge it overnight in my
What did you say? I'll just plug it in over there just in case this one dies. Remember we had that happen to us?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we don't need you passing out.
Bunny rabbits and puppies. Give us this.
Deep.
Okay? I'm gonna see your, I need to see your DNR.
All right, everybody ready? Wait, do we want to wait for Zane?
Somebody went out. Hold on.
Yeah, Zane went to the ladies.
All right, we'll wait 1 second and then we'll go.
Sorry. I thought it was all good.
That's a nervous pee.
Is it what?
It's a nervous pee.
Well, during the break, until the very end of the break, the bathroom was actually being cleaned.
Oh, that's so
You can't-
irritating.
Like, I went to go to the bathroom, and then it was being cleaned, so I was like, all right, well, I guess I have to wait. So if I do that, if I start going like this, you know,
Come on, girls, shut the door.
are we waiting for Zane?
No. Trying to beat the sun.
Whenever you're ready, Darla.
All right, today I'm going to do my speech on the fact that inspections should be more than once a year. This is a full-size sedan. It's actually a Chevrolet Impala. Now this car weighs between 5,000 and 6,000 pounds. And when your vehicle doesn't work, it is probably the heaviest and most expensive paperweight you will ever own. When I was attending Universal Technical Institute, I took classes in diesel, industrial, and automotive. There were a whole bunch of classes that got me an associate's equivalency degree. But one of the classes I want to talk to you about is actually a diesel class. It's called PM, Preventative Maintenance. In this class, we spent an entire week talking about something called a pre-trip inspection. The pre-trip inspection is where before any diesel truck, any commercial vehicle goes on the road, it has to go through a safety checklist to make sure that that vehicle is allowed. In fact, CDLTrainingstoday.com says that the CDL licensing test actually requires their drivers to do a pre-trip inspection before they can get their license. If they can't do the inspection, they don't get the license. Yet passenger vehicles, we don't require that. We just get in and go. The average American driver, and this is just a picture of traffic, the average American driver is driving their vehicle 294 hours a year. PA state inspection is only required once a year, but a lot can happen in the 10,000 plus miles that happen between inspections. Today I'd like to talk to you about 3 items that are on every pre-trip inspection list that you guys can do to your own vehicle and should at least every couple weeks. The first item I want to talk to you about is headlights. We've all seen cars driving down the street with one headlight. We may even play pedaddle or you punch the roof of the car, or punch the guy next to you, depending, you don't want to punch the driver. But driving with one headlight out is actually both illegal, based on the PA State Motor Vehicle Code, and dangerous. DriveSmartBC.com says that driving with one headlight is like driving with one eye closed. It decreases your ability to perceive what's around you. Not only that, but it decreases the ability of other drivers to perceive you and where your vehicle is at. Your turn and brake lights, they tell people what you're doing. So if you don't have them, and you go to make a turn and you don't have that turn signal, someone might think that you're not and might run into you. It can cause accidents. The second item on every pre-trip inspection list is the tires. TireAmerica.com notes that your tire condition affects acceleration, braking, and handling. And driving on bald tires in wet weather conditions can lead to hydroplaning. Hydroplaning is where your tire doesn't touch the road at all. It actually skims across the top of the water. In a vehicle that's hydroplaning, handling doesn't exist. Another point on the tires is the tire pressure. The tire pressure can radically affect the way that your car handles. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous for everyone. All right, disco dashboard. These are a couple of the lights that are present on most dashboards today. In 1996, the federal government mandated that all vehicles implement onboard diagnostics. That means that your vehicle can tell you when something's wrong. These warnings, the ones I want to talk about are actually the check engine light and the red oil light. The check engine light indicates that something in your drivetrain there's something wrong with it. Your drivetrain is the power plant. It's the engine, the transmission, the parts that actually make it go. And while the check engine light may not indicate that you are at personal risk, it does indicate that your vehicle is at risk for catastrophic failure. The red oil light, that means that your oil pressure is not where it should be. The oil actually keeps your engine moving. It lubricates all the parts. So when your oil pressure drops, you can have a seized engine. And some of the time anyway, a seized engine to repair can cost more than your vehicle is worth. Do you have time to wait? All the items I've talked about can leave you stranded on the side of the road. The average wait time for a tow truck is an hour to an hour and a half. I don't think anybody in here has that kind of time to do it. Luckily, you don't need a degree or thousands of dollars worth of tools to check these items for yourself. When it comes to checking your lights, all it takes is turn your lights on, walk around your car. When you check your headlights, make sure you check your high beams, your low beams, and any of the marker lights that are around. When you check your reverse lights, turn the key on, but don't start it. Put the parking brake on, and then it's safe to actually go and look at those lights. The turn signals, if you hit the hazard switch, they all turn on at the same time, and you can check them at once. It also gives you the added benefit of checking to make sure your hazard switch actually works in case there is an emergency. The only tricky one is the brake lights, because beyond being Stretch Armstrong or an out-of-body experience, you can't really push the pedal and look at the lights at the same time. But you don't need fancy tools to do it. All you need is a rod that's about 18 inches long, sort of like this baton. What you do is you put the baton against the brake pedal and move the seat up against it until it depresses the brake. And you only have to press it in about a half an inch. By then the brake lights should have come on. To check your tires, all you need is a penny. You just put your penny between the tread of the tires, as shown here. If the top of Lincoln's head isn't showing, you're good to go. If the top of Lincoln's head is showing, you need tires. Make sure when you check your tires that you check each and every tread, because uneven tread across the tire can indicate that you need an alignment, and you want to get that fixed because that can cause tire failure. While you're walking around the vehicle, take a look at your sidewalls or your tires. Do they look normal? Are they bulged? Bulged tires indicate that your tire pressure is not where it belongs. When you're riding like this, you're actually causing major damage to this part of your tire. And a lot of the tires that you see explode on the road, they're because of that right there. So you want to make sure. And a lot of gas stations, they have the pumps so you can do it. But the Wawas now, they have the digital pump that you set the pressure and it'll stop when it's done. You find your tire pressure what it's supposed to be in your owner's manual or probably online. The check engine light, places like AAMCO, Pep-Boys, and Goodyear will read that for free. They'll tell you what's going on with it. They'll give you an estimate. But it doesn't cost any money, so you can schedule it into your own time and not wait on the side of the road. Stop, look, and listen. The first line of defense against your problems in your vehicle are your own senses. A survey from AAA says that of the 294 hours a year we spend in our vehicle, 66% of that is spent solo. That means that we have to pay attention to what's going on in our car. We are the ones that drive it all the time. We are the ones that are going to notice if something's going wrong. Heed that check engine light. Pay attention to it. If your oil light comes on, stop, pull over, don't drive. Because stopping and pulling over is a lot less inconvenient than a seized engine. What you want to do is check your oil level. If you don't know how, they have YouTube videos for that. Look under your vehicle, see if you have any leaks, and smell. Because you can smell if something's burning. Periodically, turn your car off and listen to it. Or turn your radio off and listen to your car. The other one didn't really make any sense. That way you can tell if something's going on. In conclusion, performing a pre-trip inspection can be done by anyone. And it doesn't take a degree. It doesn't take fancy tools. It does not even take mechanical inclination. And though it's not required for a PA driver's test, the passenger car one, it can save you time, money, and aggravation, and it makes your car safer for not only you and your passengers, but everybody else on the road. Thank you.
Good job. Right back.
Did I go over or did I make it? I totally